Hello, thank you for joining me back here on In Conversation with Zoe. If this is your first time, welcome to your go-to resource for self-development, branding, communication, and of course, inspiration. My name is Zoe, I'm your host, and today, for those returning subscribers and viewers, thank you so much as well. Today I will be sharing 5 top tips or 5 top advice as globally nations start to open up, borders start to open up, lockdown restrictions are easing up, and maybe not for some people that have for some places and geopolitical zones that are experiencing a second wave of the coronavirus pandemic hitting hard, maybe harder than it was back in April, May, June. Well, for some places they are opening up, businesses are getting back to life, and it feels like things are getting back to normal, right? Well, don't be deceived, because that's a trap. I'm kidding. It's not a trap, but the essence of this video is to advise us as the world opens up. Don't forget those top goody two-shoes habits that you picked up or you learned, those skills that you learned, those development growth stages that you went through in lockdown, in quarantine, or whatever. Don't let go of them just because life is getting back to normal, or at least it looks like it's getting back to normal, because then you will not be doing yourself justice. You will not be helping yourself, and you do not want a relapse, whether emotionally, spiritually, physically, or professionally, educationally, and so on and so forth. So here's my top 5 advice for you as the world starts to open up. Number 1, do not ignore those relationships that you held on to as a form of support system. Those relationships and institutions, systems, or people or things that provided you support while you were in lockdown. You will be hurting yourself should there be another wave, or should there be another reason for you to need those people, and then you've gone and used them for support during that time, and then now you're back. Oh, I'm back to life, so I might as well ignore those people that were loving me and being nice to me, making me feel like I was alive and life was really going on well. Starting with your family, your parents, if you do have them still alive, please do not ignore that relationship, because things can change like this, a snap of the fingers. I mean, I've said this over and over again. Things can change in a minute. Nobody thought that, back in December when coronavirus was first detected in China, it would become a global pandemic or phenomenon, whatever. No one predicted that 2020 was going to be stalled in 3-4 months. Oh my God. But you know what? We thank God. And I hope you're doing well. And I do hope that you are a better person through the experience. Okay? That's just really my hope and wish for everyone, because we don't want to go back to the place we used to be, where they're ugly, where they're okay. We don't want to be okay. We want to be better people. And that's the essence of In Conversation with Zoe. So be it your family, your friends, your well-wishers, do not ignore those relationships, those bonds that you have built during the lockdown when you really needed support, okay? All right. That being said, I'd like to move on to the next one. Apart from people as support systems, there were some ideas that that came to you during the lockdown, or during that very difficult time for everyone. It was difficult for everyone, honey. It could have been a growth process. It could have been a habit that you dropped. It could have been something you fixed about yourself. It could be a beauty routine that you picked up. It could be a skill, a talent that you learned during the lockdown. Maybe you learned to play an instrument. Maybe you learned to whistle, I guess. I don't know. But maybe you just learned something really nice and cool, and something that got your mind off the global problem. Well, my advice is that you hold on to it still. You will need it. Not just because we are expecting another breakdown of the whole easing of lockdown, no, but because for those things to have kept you through then, don't you think that those things are worthy to be in your life? Whether be it person, be it a habit, be it a skill that you learned, you know, a course that you took, or a lifestyle that you embraced and it became part of you. Don't just let go of it, love, okay? It should form part of your the fabric of who you are now. It also makes you more colorful, like this beautiful canvas here, okay? The more colors you have on your canvas, the more colors you have in your life, the more your value increases. Really, that's how I see it. And that's how I know that people of the olden days used to see things. Just like when you go apply for a job, people do not just look for your for how your qualifications match the position that you're applying for. They also want to see that you are flexible and you have different colors to you. There are so many elements to you. It's not just one straight end thing. No. Okay, so hold on to those things, those habits. Stay with it. Now, still speaking of habits, in a way, some of us became very tidy people, very clean. You know, cleanliness, they say, is next to godliness. So don't drop that habit, okay? That lifestyle is something you need to befriend more, become closer to. And if you were washing your hands before, keep washing your hands. If you were doing your laundry twice a week, if you were having your bath twice a week, or whatever it was you were doing that made you get through the lockdown period and feel, you know, safer, please keep doing those things. Not because the lockdown is eased off or taking off and then you just feel like, oh, I'm getting back to left, let me go back to my lousy old ways, you know, my very carefree old ways. No, I don't think that's good enough, okay? All right, that being said, let's now talk about lockdown restrictions being lifted. Keep wearing your mask. That's number 4. Keep wearing your mask, please. Don't. I saw this TikTok video. It was so funny. Like, for us Christians, don't say because God's got you, you're gonna jump off a 4-story building. Don't say because God's got me. Oh, God's got me, and then you go and you do not wear your mask. You go out in public without wearing your mask. You make other people feel uncomfortable, and then you also make people feel like, no, this person cannot be a Christian. So don't tempt God, don't tempt yourself, and don't tempt the authorities. If there is a law in place in your geopolitical zone, please stay with the law, okay? That's the honorable thing to do. And finally, as I welcome you back to the second half of the year, I know it's a little bit over, this is the 8th month. I wanted to say, do not forget God, because God was my biggest source of strength and support system during the lockdown, and I'm sure he was for so many of us. So I would say, please do not push God to the back seat, because now life is getting back to normal, okay? Hold on to God as you have always. If you were praying 3 times a day, 4 times a day, if you were like, oh my God, panicking, and then becoming a prayer warrior through that, or reading your Bible, or just being a good person through the lockdown because you were afraid that the world is ending, well, I think that is a checkpoint for you. Imagine that the world is ending every day. I'm not saying live in panic. No, that's very wrong. That's crap. Please live a better life that makes you live purely, you know, you're not hurting people, your hands are clean. That is one mantra my dad kept trying to, you know, drive through the whole family. He's like, make sure that before you get to bed every night, you know that your hands are clean. So that's it. Thank you for watching. I'm so glad to be back again. So what had happened was I had so many things to do in the past 1 month plus, and that's why I could not churn out materials as I was doing. So, but here we are again, and I'm super excited for you to see what I have in my next video. Thank you for watching. Mwah.